Hey girl, it's I Heart Quay. Do you put your lip gloss on like I do? Or better yet, do you not know how to flip your hair like I don't? Are you a hot mess 99% of the time like I am? Well, if you are, then stay tuned because I have hope for us. I put together a very natural makeup tutorial plus lashes so you can look extra fabulous. This is perfect for people who don't have that much time to get ready, you're a mom, or it's just too hot for all that product where you live. So if you're interested, stay tuned and watch my video. So here I'm starting off with my brows, of course, because you need to frame your faces. Okay, so I'm using a MILANI brow pencil and I'm making short strokes to just kind of fill the bottom part of my lash, going back over the top and then using the middle to fill it. I do switch colors because I want my brows to match my hair because I'm fancy like that, I guess. So you'll see me switching between pencils throughout the video. Don't be alarmed, I'm just trying to look extra cute for my man. Okay, so you just see me feathering that out. I try to keep them as natural as possible. I try not to make them too dark or too boxy. Just try to follow my natural brow shape at this point. So the red colors that you see me using, they're lip pencils, girl. Go ahead and save budget and don't dye your brows if you don't have to. Okay, so just use a lip pencil and that just will put that same pigment in there without you doing anything. Now I'm taking the LA Girl concealer and I am going up and cleaning my brows top and bottom because you need to clean both sides in my opinion. Some people don't do that, but I do. Just make sure that you are light-handed with the product and you use a shade that's closest to your complexion so that way it doesn't look too harsh, you know, especially in the heat. You don't want it to melt off your face. I don't know, that's just me. So then I'm taking my brush and I'm just blending. Sis, that is the key. Blend for your life. You want it to look natural, you need to blend. I'm also taking an additional concealer and I'm using that as my eyeshadow base. Also blend that out as well. I believe that is by Maybelline. I'm not sure. I'll list all the products in. So now it's foundation time and I'm just taking my Too Faced Born This Way foundation and my brush and I'm putting it all over my face, starting on my cheeks, going up to my forehead, my eyelids, everywhere, and definitely not forgetting that neck. Okay, so you want to make sure that your neck and your face match, so that's why you have to blend. And again, just like with everything else, you want to blend it out so it looks as natural as possible. Then I am now taking some concealer just to kind of highlight them bags we get from not sleeping. What do the kids say? Highlighting contour. I am taking that under the bottom, over the bridge of my nose, just on my cupid's bow, my chin, and just a little bit on my forehead because I do not want my forehead to look shiny. So we're going to take our sponge and blend it out after we wet it with some MAC setting spray just to make sure it's damp and it can help blend us out. Okay, so I'm going to hit those same spots that I put the concealer under: my eyes, my nose, my lip, my chin, and my forehead, and just make sure, again, we're going to blend it out really good. Make sure you don't see any of it all. I know it's a bit of a different shade, but just want to make sure that it blends seamlessly with your foundation. And after you've placed your concealer where you want it and blended it out, you want to take your setting powder. I believe this shade is Topaz by the same people who make the banana. I think it's Ben Nye. You want to take that and just kind of bake, as the kids like to say. Put a little bit under. You don't want it to be too much because then it'll be noticeable. So you just want to take a little bit and just hit those spots where you just placed your concealer and blended it. And the next thing you want to do is take the eyeshadow of your choice. I'm using a very loose pigment. You can use it for eyeshadow, highlight, whatever. I'm using that from Bare Minerals and I'm just sweeping it across my brow because, like I said, I want to look cute for my man. So I'm taking that and just graciously putting it over both of my eyelids, just in a very sweeping motion. I don't want to put too much because I want it to be natural looking and nobody has glittery eyebrows and eyelashes and lids. So I'm taking that, and I went back through with an INGLOT loose powder, also a highlight, and I'm just going to put that on my brow bone eventually, just to kind of give it a little pop of color so when the sun hits, by hey girl. And again, I'm just putting that over my brow and making sure that my eye look is completed without doing the most. So now we're going to take our eyeliner. I love liquid liner because it's easier for me. Some people like gel, but liquid, it's just easier for me to apply. So I just want to do like a real cute cat liner, wing liner, whatever you want to call it, just over my eyelids. Just to kind of give it, you know, a little more dimension than just, you know, having a little loose pigment over my eyelids. And I'm very carefully drawing that because, listen, the only thing I don't like about liquid liner is if you mess up, God forbid, then you're going to have to start over or possibly use a concealer to try to do that. And when you're in a rush, nobody has time for that. So just make sure, you know, to take your time and to just draw it, okay? Okay, and so now after you have your liner placed where you want it, then you want to go through with the mascara. This is a very important step before you place your lashes because you want to make sure that you're not dirtying up your lashes and that your regular lash is already ready to welcome the false lash on top of it. So I'm taking my tweezers and I'm just using it to assist me. I've already put my glue and everything on it and I'm just placing it. I like to use a very close hand mirror so I can see what exactly it is that I'm doing, and it just makes it easier for me as opposed to using a mirror that kind of like looks straight on. So after I put on both my lashes, I just make sure they're there and they look, you know, presentable and they're in the right area because you don't want one lash up here and the other one there. Make sure you take time to let them dry though before you move to your next step. Now you want to take that brush. Usually I don't bake that long, but I was moving kind of slow today, so you want to dust all that powder off that you had before and make sure you really blend that out so you don't have any of that flashback or just residue from the powder on your face. You want to make sure you just take that off. So it's just a clean brush that I use and I just dust it off as best as I can. Sometimes I may even just hit it with a little bit of the MAC setting spray just to kind of help me pick up the rest of the residue. I did not show the powder that I was using for that slight contour that I'm trying to do, but it's just powder by BH Cosmetics. I'm also taking a blush palette that I have and just using those two colors I showed you just to add some color to my cheeks, you know, just a little dimension back to my face after we've put on our concealer and foundation and powders and everything like that. And I don't like to be heavy-handed with it because I don't want extremely pigmented cheeks. I just want a very slight pop of color again to add to my face. So then after that, I need to make sure you pinch those lashes, girl, because yeah, you put them on, yeah, they're now dry, but you also need to follow up to marry them. That's what we call them. We pinch them to marry them. So I did one eye, and I'm going through with the other eye. You want to wait till they dry completely so that way you don't get any of the glue on your hand or maybe on your eyelid or anything like that. So once they're in place and they're in the desired place that you want them to be, then you can move on to your next step. All right, so now what I'm trying to do to make sure I'm on time with what I'm doing, I'm taking a highlight, and I believe this is one of the loose pigments that MAC came out with a couple of years ago, and so I love this one so much. It's one of my most favorite highlights, most favorite loose pigment, whatever it is you want to call it, and I'm sweeping that over my entire face, over my cheekbones and my nose, a little bit over my cupid's bow. And I'm taking an NYX liner just to give myself a very natural lip line, just to kind of, you know, give it a little more dimension. Like we said, apparently that's the word of the day, dimension. So I'm just outlining my lips a little bit, and then I'm coming through with the lipstick. It's a matte color by NYX. Again, I'll put the products in the description bar below, and I just want to take that and blend it. Fix your lips however you want, okay? This is your natural look. However you really want to. I just try to stay as basic as possible. Then I'll go through with a Buxom lip gloss. I don't know what shade this is right offhand, but I just sweep that over the top of my lips and blend that in as well. And it's starting to all kind of come together. My favorite part, we're gonna spray our faces, sus. We're gonna spray the face, sus. We're gonna spray the face. We're gonna spray the face because number one, it feels good, especially if it's hot. And number two, it smells good, especially if it doesn't smell good where you are. So yes, that, my friends, is the final look for me. I am not doing anything else. I'm just about to unwrap this headscarf off and loose my hair because it is down, and my daughter was taking a nap, so she could not pull my follicles out. Okay, so this is the completed look. This is a completed look with my hair down. That's the one that you saw in the intro. I'm really feeling it. I look like, yay, so we can go to Kroger and get something and be back home in time for our show, or we can be on a date night with our man. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and thank you so much for watching. True.